Hi, and welcome to Tune In Tuesdays. So today we're going to talk about physical care. So there is a couple different areas in which I really strive to work on for my physical care. And all these areas that we're going to talk about in the next few weeks, they all intertwine. So we've got physical care, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And for me, many of them overlap because we are an integrated being, and I live a very integrated life. I hope you do too. And everything affects us on these levels. So I want you to think about that. So for physical care, let's just chat for a minute about what that might look like. For me, it means that I take some vitamin supplements every day. And most days I probably have a green smoothie too. So whatever your vitamin or your herb food regime is, spend some time in thinking about it and do a little research. If there's some things that are bothering you physically, try and find some resources for them. And I'll put some resources in the newsletter too for some of these things. So I do my vitamins pretty religiously, and especially living in the Northwest, I take my extra vitamin D. And I take between 400 and 4,000 and 8,000 international units. Now I live in the Northwest in Western Washington, where it is absolutely gorgeous most of the year. But we do have that liquid sunshine in the wintertime and a lot of gray clouds. I'm sure to take my vitamin D. A multi is a really great idea, and I'm not going to go into the regimen of my supplements, but if you're interested in them, put a comment on there and I'll post them. I've had to overcome some things with some arthritis conditions and stress and other things, so go ahead and if you'd like to know, ask. So the next area I like to work on is sleep, physical sleep. I know that many of us as moms and caregivers don't get enough rest, and how vital it is to have that deep sleep. And it's different for everybody. Some people do really well with 6 to 7 and others need, I have a child who is an adult, but he needs really 10 to 12 to optimally function. And so you need to figure out for you what it is and look at ways to work on getting the sleep that your body requires. And it's not just your body, it's your emotional and your spiritual self too that needs that rest. And deep sleep is one of the best places for us to process the stress of the day that we've had. And it gives us the opportunity to wake up refreshed because our subconscious has worked through that most of the time while we're sleeping. It's also the best time for our bodies physically to repair and strengthen, and for those nutrients to go into the body and to be able to rebuild. So I encourage you to figure out what it is, the amount of sleep that you need, and try and work towards that. We're going to have a Tune In Tuesday specifically and completely around sleep in the future. So I hope you look forward to that. But figure out what it is for your amount of sleep. The other thing is water and food. Oh my goodness, the easiest thing to do for ourselves is to drink lots of water. So I don't know how much water you drink, and I don't know how much water you intend to drink. But there are guidelines out there that suggest anything from 8-ounce glasses a day to 1 ounce per pound of body fat. Well, I think that that's a little extensive to be able to get that volume down. And it also depends on what your activity level is and where you live. If you're in a hot, dry climate where you're perspiring and releasing lots of fluids, you really need the extra fluids. So my suggestion is in a moderate way, and that is I aim for at least a half a gallon of fluids a day. Now in that fluid content, I'm counting herb teas and water. But flavored waters are a great way to go to. But I'm not including soda pop or milk or things like that in my water consumption. So look at your water consumption. Lots of times headaches can be contributed directly to lack of water, and so can many other physical ailments. So water is key. The next thing is eating healthy foods. Many of you may know that I love to cook, and I'm a good cook, and I love to garden, and I love fresh whole foods. That does not mean that we don't have party foods, but I try and keep the party foods to the party times, and really try to aim for lots of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, good proteins and wholesome fats. We only use for our fats olive oil, butter, and coconut oil, and then we do use some animal fats that now scientists have realized that are actually wholesome and good for you. So look at what you're eating and try and adjust to yourself what it would be best for you. And if that's some area that you want to improve on, you know, just take a little time and focus on that food and what you need to do. The other thing for physical care is exercise. Now, I am not a gym person. It's just like almost painful to me. But I also know that many of you may want to go to the gym because it gives you a way to exercise that's away from your home, away from your other routines and responsibilities. So I totally get that. So whatever your exercise is, go for it. I really like to do, I have a couple of DVDs that I love to do. One is the T-Tap Plus, and especially when I was having some arthritic flares and before I had a knee replacement, but even now I love to do T-Tap Plus. The other one that I like is Tai Chi Flow by Carolyn Cooper, one of my wonderful mentors. That is just fabulous. But my favorite two exercises are swimming, but I like lake swimming the best. And the other one is gardening. And this time of year I'm not doing a whole lot of gardening, so I'm not getting a whole lot of physical activity out in the garden. But almost every day I try and get outside just for a few minutes for some fresh air, and it grounds me. So that's where we got some of these crossovers in the physical and the emotional and the spiritual and the mental. Because when I go out in the garden, I start mentally planning for what I'm going to do and plant and grow. It grounds me emotionally into the earth. And then it helps my spirits to soar, because to me the garden is one of the places in which I have had many spiritual experiences and received spiritual guidance and answers. So that it's also the physical there, in the physical work, but also in the physical joy of planting, harvesting, and weeding. So look at your physical care. Look at the things that you want to have on your list. And we're going to start talking on our Tune In Tuesdays about how to start implementing these things. And we don't want anyone to be overwhelmed. So look at your list with your 4 columns or your 4 quadrants of the things to do for yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Start to implement just a little bit this week in physical care. Oh, and the last thing for physical care I want to talk about is appearance. So many of us as caregivers, and we're home a lot, we don't really spend a whole lot of time on our appearance. But in working on our appearance, we can feel better about ourselves. So if we get ourselves dressed, it's rare that you will see me without earrings. It's just one of my things. I feel better when I'm wearing earrings. And so then there's other times in which Our physical appearance is super important. But when we're at home and we're caregiving, we kind of feel like we don't need to spend the time. So I would encourage you to look at what is it for your physical care that you really like for your appearance, or what you want it to be. It may be going and getting a monthly pedicure. It may be scheduling a monthly massage. For your physical appearance, though, it may be going and getting your hair done, or going and buying a different tube of lipstick or something like that. The other thing is when we are focused on our physical body, we need to be focused on our physical bodies not for anybody else, but for ourselves. I've tried to teach my girls as they were growing up and teenagers, it's not important what anybody else thinks about you, thinks about your style, what you're wearing, how you do your hair. What the most important thing is how you feel about yourself. So start looking for the things in your appearance that you like about yourself, and say to yourself, wow, I really like my hair today. Or, I have a great smile. The more positive self-talk that we can give ourselves, the more positive we can be around other people. And don't forget to smile. That is your greatest asset of your physical care, is smiling, not just to others, but to yourself. Because when you smile, it changes you emotionally, physically, and it helps you to radiate that smile to others, but it radiates it inside. And you can be a happier person. So, we'll look forward to next week for Tune In Tuesdays, and have a great, fabulous day.